we got a new beer from Great Lakes Brewing Company, and you know what? One thing I gotta say first is that when I crack this can here, I really hope it just doesn't burst right open. Beer. Hello everybody, welcome back to me, Mate Brewski, for another Brewski review. And today the beer that I have for you guys is by the Great Lakes Brewing Company out in Etobicoke, Ontario. This seems to be a little brand new if I'm, correct. This is Burst, a New England Pale Ale. Not an IPA, but a smaller Pale Ale, coming in at 4.5% alcohol by volume. And how many IBUs? How many IBUs? Does it say? Does it say? No. Not that I see on the very comic looking can design. Like comic-esque, from the words, from the logos, from the graphics on here. Very comic book-esque, pretty badass looking. Blues, pinks, reds, and yellows galore. Just very bright and in your face, but also very clean as well. IBUs on the website, we're looking at 20 IBUs, 4.5%. So, pale ale style for sure, but New England. So some New England vibes, just on a smaller scale. So let's crack this bad boy open. Let's see what we got. Didn't burst open. We're good to go. And yes, of course, we do have our Great Lakes pop can style glass here. Let's pour it out. Let's see what we got. Pretty excited about this one. Great Lakes always does some pretty great stuff, so it's always a good time when I crack open one of their beers and whoa, I already got a whiff of that. That smells pretty good. But looking at the beer, nice off-white head and like a very light beige, hazy yellow, almost like a touch of. I thought there was like a touch of ruby color in here, but a very hazy, murky, deeper yellow per se. Looking pretty fantastic. Murky seems to be a very poor choice of words. Hazy is a lot better, but yeah, it's bordering on the line of murky, but not in a bad, disgusting way. In a very pleasant, beautiful looking beer. Let's just dive in, have a smell. On the nose, little grapefruit, little pine for sure, but then it moves into almost like a nice tropical paradise. A little nice bit of mango, fresh mango, like nicely sliced. Maybe even a little bit of dried mango going on. Pineapple, peach, a little stone fruit action going on. Part of me wants to say coconut, but it's not. Is there coconut going on? I don't know. My mind is pointing me towards coconut and a little portion of it. Nice citrus body around it, like orange and orange. Maybe slight melon going on. Papaya. I don't know why that popped up. But yeah, we're looking at fresh mangoes, dried mangoes, a little bit of peachiness going on. Somewhat of like a coconut, maybe possibly toasted coconut, or maybe just straight coconut shavings. And what else did I say? I said papaya, yeah, that seems to be popping up a little bit. Lychee's another possibility going on in here. The melon is very light, very slight. Melon, not watermelon, but more of like a honeydew sort of freshness out of it, or refreshingness. Smells pretty damn good, pretty damn tropically, like a cornucopia. Let's have a sip. On the taste, actually that one went fairly quick. But on the body, it's a bit heavier. It's weird. It's heavy but light. Heavy in the sense where it's a bit thicker in the mouth, but light as in the sense that it is it's like an airier New England IPA per se. So in New England, they usually have a bit heavier of a body compared across all IPAs. This is sort of the same thing, but on a pale ale scale, but then having a bit of airiness on the mouthfeel. But we need more information because that first sip really got away from me. I didn't really get too much flavor on that. Kind of got a little surprised, if I do say so myself. So with that said, guys, cheers everybody. Let's keep on drinking. Yeah, a bit airy on the body, even a little bit airy on flavor. The beginning of it comes in pine, grapefruit, a little bit of mango, a little bit of like an orange or tangerine thing going on. And then there's like a dead space spot, like a dead spot where there's really nothing. And then it gets a bit more somewhat not earthy, but somewhat of a citrus rindy bitterness, and then just a general like hop bite bitterness of like a very sharp. It's better than a hop bitterness, almost like a somewhat of a florally bitterness to it at the back, but does seem to be a dead spot in the middle. Yeah, and then it finishes really, really clean, really, really quickly. It's a good beer for sure, but there's just not a lot of substance, or not as much substance to it as I thought there would be. The aromas portion of it is definitely where the beer really shines in. When it comes to flavor, there's some mango, there's some citrus notes going on, there's a little bit of floraliness as well. But then there seems to be a bit of like a carbonic acid spike where it just shoots up, gets a little bit more sizzly on the palate, and drowns out a good chunk of the flavors right in the middle of the sip. And then it finishes quite abruptly and at the same time extremely clean, which is a good thing, but at the same time it's so abrupt. And that middle portion just spikes in almost like a carbonic acid-esque flavor, or in a sense lack thereof flavor. It's not too carbonated of a beer, or at least it doesn't seem that way. But like I said, right in the middle there just seems to be a dead space of carbonic acid forwardness. And then the ending is slightly flavored and then just abruptly stops. So a little bummed on that, because you think New England, New England, yeah, it's a pale ale, but still pale ales can have a bunch of flavor in them. And New England's are very known for having a very bountiful tropical aroma and flavor to them. But this is just, it's lost that whole middle story of it, that whole middle profile, in my opinion. It's either lost it, or the flavors are just very, very low, and that carbonic acid's kind of shooting up a little higher, and in a sense blanketing or hiding the flavors under all that. So kind of bummed about that, but still a quite enjoyable beer so far. But let's see what the can has to say for itself. So, Great Lakes Brewery Tank 10 Series Burst New England Pale Ale, 4.5% alcohols by volume, 20 IBUs. Boom, there you go, you can see the can again. There's a jet aircraft on the back, which is pretty cool. So let's see what we have to say. Our planet, under threat by unseen enemies like bland tasting beer, is once again saved by the hop rockets of our unsung hero. Very, very short, sweet description. Really do like that. Bland tasting beer. That kind of sucks when they say that, because there's something about this beer. It's not bland, but it's flavors being blanketed, I think, by carbonic acid. It sucks. It really sucks, because this should be really good, and it is good. It's just not exceptionally good. It's not breaking barriers in my mind, or really wowing me in a sense. It's just it's like a baby New England. That's kind of where I want to place it. It's a baby New England with a blanket of carbonation. Oh well, that's fine. Still pretty good. Ingredients are water, malted barley, wheat, oats, hops, and yeast. Serving temperature between 3 to 5 degrees Celsius. And glassware is a GLB Atlantic. On the bottom we do have a packaged on date. This was packaged on August 12th, 2020. So that was just about 14 days ago. So it's an extremely fresh can. It just seems to be not bland, just blanketed. That's the best word for it. Over on the website, greatlakesbeer.com, you go to the beer section, you scroll down a little bit as per usual, and you do find Burst. Tasting notes we'll start off with. Actually, yeah, because it does have the ABV, IBU, serving temp, style, and glassware, just like the can on the website here. Release date is in the summertime. Tasting notes. Get ready for a flavor burst with this 4.5% New England Pale Ale. This hazy, light golden liquid flows beautifully into your GLB glass and produces a tight white crown. I wouldn't say mine was white, it definitely had a little bit of color to it, like a light beige per se. Predominant notes of mango propel forward and are quickly joined by strawberry, I'm not getting strawberry, peach, and a touch of lemon. Lemon I can see being part of the citrus group there, and peach, yeah. Subtle sweetness makes an appearance too. The soft mouthfeel provides a creamy texture, juicy. Again, back to mango and strawberry with honeydew melon tagging along on the hop rocket. Yep, honeydew for sure. Strawberry, not really getting that. Subtle sweetness, so I guess maybe that's what they were going for. Not going to be super sweet, just maybe edging on a little bit more bitter, even though it's only 20 IBUs. But yeah, okay, JLB. Maybe I'm talking out of my ass a little bit here. But hey, this is just my opinion. Back to mango and strawberry with a honeydew melon. There we go, tagging along on the hop rocket. Really bright on the palate, like drinking a fresh fruit salad, if that's a thing. Yeah, apparently it is a thing because you're making beer to do that. Okay, so yeah, you know what? Maybe they weren't going for the most sweetest beer or sweeter beer out there, but yeah, there still seems to be just a little bit of a like a not lack of flavor, but just a blanket over some of the flavors that maybe my expectations are just a little bit higher, you know, not per se high, but just in a different area per se. So hey, that's fine. Overall, good stuff. Food pairings, we got lobster rolls, shrimp burrito, hold the red onion, juji fruits, no idea what juji fruits are, and mac and cheese, the beloved mac and cheese. Can't go wrong with that. Additional information, our planet, oh, this is the same description as on the beer itself. So yeah, pretty good looking website. Great Lakes always does a fine job for sure. Tasting notes, food pairings, all that fun stuff. ABV, IBU, serving temps, good to go. Moving over to Untapped, Burst has been given a 3.79 bottle caps out of 5, and that's out of 581 ratings. And finally, if you want to pick up some of the Great Lakes Brewery Burst at your local LCBO, you'll be paying $3 flat for the 473 ml tallboy can. $3, not bad. Not bad for a New England Pale Ale, even though it's not a big, boozy, juicy, hoppy, fruity IPA. Still, for a smaller version of it, $3, can't go wrong. Can't go wrong at all. Overall, a fairly enjoyable beer. I wish it was a little bit more juicy, but then again, I think because I'm seeing New England, I'm already just thinking it's gonna be juice bomb for days and tropical fruits. Yeah, this is still pretty damn good, full of flavor, just a little bit too toned down for my liking, but it could be right up your alley. So with that said, guys, cheers on the final sip. Let's get right to drinks and we'll wrap this thing up. Great Lakes Brewery, Burst, New England Pale Ale. Solid beer for sure. Wishing was a bit more juicier, a bit more intense on the flavor department, but then again, I have to remember it is only a pale ale, not a full New England IPA, so something I gotta keep in mind. But for what it is, a solid beer, solid 7.9 out of 10 for me. As for presentation, Great Lakes always does a bang up job. comic book style, good to go. Tons of information. ABV, no IBU surprisingly, but that's okay. ABV, ingredients, description, serving temp, and a clearly labeled canned on date. Can't go wrong. As well as website, always looking fantastic. Tons of information. ABV, IBU, serving temp, style, glassware, tasting notes, food pairings, which is awesome, and a little bit of an additional same description as a can. Can't go wrong. Great stuff. Presentation gets a solid 9 out of 10 for me. Before I leave you guys, if you have any comments, questions, or beers I want to review in the future, you can leave all that information down in the comment box below. If you want to go ahead and like this video or subscribe to me, Mate Brewski, it'll be greatly appreciated as well. And with all that said, that's going to do it for me, Mate Brewski. Like I always say, crack a beer and enjoy. Cheers. So let's pour the rest of this beer, this golden delicious beer. I wish it was stronger, but hey, I got the baby New England. Cheers.